Okay, so listen, I bought some more plants, but they're actually not what you think. They're not aroids. I know. I have around 11 plants to show you today that are brand new, that you have not seen before, and I've sort of grouped them a little bit because it makes more sense to talk about them that way. So let's just get straight into it. Let's talk about plants with patterns, plants with personality. Now, I always refer to these kinds of houseplants as being a little bit more like pets, right? If you've had one before, you might know what I mean. So the first plant I want to show you is this guy. I believe this is the Tenanthe Burley Marcii. I can't remember how you actually pronounce the last bit, but you know I'm not the best with plant names. Nobody cares. Right, guys? My personal opinion is it's not that deep. Anyway, I bought this very recently. It still has some of the plastic on. It arrived, maybe about 3 days ago. It's very new, very fresh. It's just starting to take a little bit of a better shape. It's been in my cabinet. So this is a prayer plant, if you don't know. Now, the reason I said that they're kind of like pets is because the way these plants work, and I will try and find some footage from Instagram of what these plants do. They are called prayer plants because their leaves either go from this position to this position. So it's during the day, and as you can see, the leaves on this plant are pointing downwards like this, right? When it is nighttime, what is going to happen is they're all going to go up like this. I'm not going to go into too much detail about these because honestly I'd like to do a full video on them. I've not done a video on prayer plants and like Calathea, Maranta, all that sort of stuff in a while, but I really want to do a video on it. But the entire way that prayer plants look and function has a lot to do with light and water. So for example, and a few plants you're going to see today look like this. The undersides of the leaves are super dark, right? Super dark. And they look like this. The reason they are super dark is to maximize the light coming through the leaves and push it back up to the plant. This is because these plants normally live on the forest floor where it's actually quite low light, which by the way makes them great low light plants. And if you don't like this one, I've got a couple of options for you. So that is why they do that. The reason they bow up and down is to conserve water, because if you think about it, when the plant's leaves are up like this, they basically create a giant funnel. They collect the water, typically from the trees overhead or for whatever it is that's dripping, and then funnel it into the plant. These are quite water-loving plants. They're still quite easy, but they're more on the water-loving side. So they prefer a more moist soil. Nothing likes being waterlogged in plants, okay? Nothing likes that. Nothing likes being overwatered. However, these like a little bit more water. I started collecting plants with a lot of the plants that you might see today. So this is how I got started. But this guy's really great. And I did actually own this plant for a little while. Not long. I think I had to get rid of it when I was moving house. But it's one of my favorites, actually. So I thought I'd get it again. So there it is. Tenanthe. I'm going to call it Burley Marcii, but I know that's not how you pronounce it, but it don't matter. I hope you are ready for a little mini Maranta moment because I have a couple of really nice ones for you. So this plant here, I've been looking for some time. That's going to sound wild because this is a little bit more obtainable and more affordable now. Actually, it's a lot more affordable now. I've featured it very recently in my cheap houseplants video. If you haven't seen that, I will link that down below. It's very cool. This is Maranta Silver Band. I used to have one. It was very expensive. Now it isn't. Great, cool. I watched, I think it was a reel or a photograph on Instagram from Good Growing. I came to find out that these were in a chain of box stores that I happen to have near me. And long story very short guys, I went around 4 to 5 different stores, driving up to an hour and a half looking for this plant. Because honestly, I really wanted to like enjoy the hunt, you know? I feel like everyone enjoys that, and buying online is great and all, but it's really kind of nice to go to your local nursery and to just see what's there, right? To hunt it out. Who doesn't want to do that? So that's what I wanted to do. I thought, let's get right back into the spirit of how I used to collect and everything else. I soon became very frustrated because the money I spent on fuel in my car driving to these places, I probably could have bought 5 of these things. So eventually, because I exhausted all of the local options near me, I just bought it online, and I actually went to buy it online from an independent plant store, so not a big chain. So that was kind of nice. So I did try both, but I'm so happy to have him again. I'm sad that I didn't, have him at the house originally, but here we are. So this is Maranta Silver Band. It works very much in the same way with the whole prayer plant thing, up and down, dark backs, only this isn't quite mature enough to have them, but it can. Don't know if you can see, it can, Absolutely love it. It's arguably one of the prettier Marantas that you can get. It's not the prettiest, but then again, it's personal opinion. I own a few now. We'll get to them. But yeah, I'm just so happy to have him. Now, he's been clearly originally come from the Netherlands, as most, common plants do, at least where I'm from in the UK, that's where they would come from. Maybe in the US as well, actually. So it is still in the nursery pot with all the soil on. I do plan on changing that. I just had no time. I've been super, super busy. So he will live in here maybe for a few more days. That's not out of choice, it's just because I know I'm really busy. Then he will get repotted along with a lot of the other stuff. I'll be putting it into my own pond. That's NurtureSystem number 8. I will link it down below, that I'm going to be using, that just kind of works on everything. So I'm going to be using that for that. But he's really nice, and you know what? He's come in really nice condition, which the next plant, not so much. I'm not disappointed because these things happen, but I think it moved around a little bit in shipping, and it's not quite as pretty looking as this one. But this is Maranta Silver Band. It's very beautiful. It has the most wonderful silver, would you call it, a silver stripe down the front. I do hope that's focusing, because it wants to focus on my face, you see. But it's very, very beautiful. And just in case, let me pop that back down, just in case you didn't see this guy up close, that is what he looks like up close. He's very, very beautiful. Look, oh, you know what? This one is so photogenic, the Tenanthe. So photogenic. They're both part of the prayer plant family, by the way. They're just slightly different within that, but both very, very valid. Okay, so the next plant, as I've just mentioned, is not as good looking. It's suffered, you know. It's really suffered. It's not done so well. It looks like it's been chewed and bitten, and it really should be isolated a bit, look. So it's not the best advert for this plant, but this is what is known as Maranta No ID or Maranta Cat's Moustache. Now, I believe I was possibly one of the first few people to ever have this plant. If you followed me for long enough, you'll know in like 2020, I was trying to buy a different type of Maranta, the black one, I think, and I got sent this instead. And this is clearly very different. It is different from it. And I had it for a while and tried to get it ID'd, and everyone was like, no, it's a no ID, blah, blah, blah. And I went on my merry way. I forgot about the plant. I didn't own it anymore. Fast forward to a few years later, it's been tissue cultured. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. But this one in particular, it's not looking its best, guys. It's really not, but it doesn't matter. I'm not too fussed. I feel like somebody else would be if they were sent this, just going to be totally honest. I'm acknowledging that, but it's okay, because what I will probably do is propagate, grow a bit, stuff it back in, because I want to show you next spring my Maranta collection in a bit more full glory. So I will be actively working on these between now and spring to see how, you know, pretty I can get them. So I guess this serves as like a before picture, I guess you could say. So clock him, and we will see how he goes. Look how big this leaf is though, by the way. Like that's my hand next to it. Look at the size of that. So we're going to be looking after these, and we're going to be giving them, I've only done it because I've literally just watered a cutting I'm about to show you. We're going to be giving them these. If you've not seen these before, I probably don't mention them quite enough, to be honest, but this is my brand, NurtureSystem. Here is my flagship product, my fertiliser, NurtureSystem number 1 Power Grow, and I have here an amazing root booster, which is going to do wonders for me. So you can get these from the link down below if you're interested. It's all I use. It's the reason I get really big plants. It's the reason things grow really big, like behind me. Insane. You can see the development of this on Instagram over, you know, the last year or so. Insane. Okay, this is what I use. So this is also what I have just put into a cutting. Although I tell a lie, I've not put number 1 into the cutting. I've put in number 3, but I'm going to show you that cutting because it's up next. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm lying to you. I'm going to do this one instead. So this next plant I purchased very recently, and I'm very, very happy. I believe I got this plant, if anybody's looking for it. Is it Kel's Plants over in the Netherlands? It's when I went to My Botanica, I bought this plant, and I was so excited because I went to My Botanica, right? And I had a really specific set of plants in mind that I was looking for that I could not find elsewhere. And I don't think any of them were aroids. Right, they were all something completely different. And the fact that I actually came away from there, full disclosure, I came away from there finding literally every single plant I was looking for, including a plant that I was not looking for that I'd been wanting for years. And you will see that today, and I will tell you when we get to it, because it's all very exciting stuff, this. I'm like so invigorated by looking at the collection I have here that you totally can't see. I'm so invigorated by it, honestly. So anyway, the thing that I was looking for is a Maranta that I've been searching for so long. I don't want to say it's super rare, but it's not easy to get. I think that's very fair. I've watched a bunch of Maranta videos recently. I'm sure Sydney Plant Guy did one. I can't remember how recent it was. I think it was quite recent. I watched it on Friday, but I didn't look at when it was uploaded. I just watched it. And even he said, yeah, this is not the easiest one to get. And it is a baby. It is a baby, but I paid okay money for it actually. This is Maranta. It's technically Maranta massangeana black. The name's on the screen, so sorry guys. Listen, you know I can't pronounce plant names. If you were there in my Botanica, you know exactly what I mean, okay? Inside joke, you know exactly what I mean. But look at him, and you know what? He's doing all right, and he has actually grown a tiny bit of root. It is small. It is really small. He hasn't been in this the whole time, but he's been rooting. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I don't know if the camera wants to. Where is it? It's literally here where I'm pointing. We have a little bit of root. We have my little tag that I made with my little label maker that we love. I can possibly link that down below for you. I don't have it with me in person, but I have a label maker that doesn't use any ink. It's done by heat, and it runs and runs, and it makes me cute labels via my phone. It's very cute. So anyway, I got this. Obviously, I am so excited to grow this big because I realized this is not much of anything, but this excites me. I've never had one of these, and I've done this job for 6 years. 6 years. And I've never had one. I've never found one. I've never seen one in person. I've never touched one. I've never done anything. So to have this, basically the black Maranta, absolutely buzzing. Happy to maybe sell cuttings of it when it gets big, but let's be honest, I'm going to be so enamored by growing it big, I might not want to cut it. You can ask, but you know, I don't know. I'm not saying there's none around, by the way. It's just, they're hard to get. Normally when somebody's looking for a Maranta online, it's probably this one. Because I think the silver band, which is here, is, you know, it's more available. But we'll move on from him. I think I blabbed on about him enough. He is small. Again, he is small. Hopefully that does focus. But he's still cute, you know. He's still cute. We love him. He's very, very cute. His colours haven't fully come in. So what I will have done, it's at some point anyway, I'll do it again anyway, is put a picture of a black Maranta in so you can really see what this is going to be. And I promise you, it is different from what I was trying to buy years ago and what I ended up with the no ID. It's probably not a great comparison, and I know that wants to focus on my face, but yeah. So we'll pop that down. I have another Maranta. It is the last one before we move on to different kinds of plants, but let me just get it. Okay, so I'm really happy about this because I bought it maybe a week ago, and I thought I would be showing you a picture of it today because it wasn't going to arrive necessarily, but it has arrived probably about 20 minutes prior to me filming this. So I've taken it out of its package and I've literally put it in a glass of water with my root booster in it, number 3, if you've used this before. I don't need to sell it to you. It's incredible. So I've just put it in with that. But this guy here is less, I want to say it's less known. It's not unknown, but it's just less known. It's not super desirable, but I'm starting a collection and I really wanted to have it. Let me just, have a little looky here so I can show you it. This here, you see, this here is Maranta cristata. Now then, guys, and I will cover this in the future. I think there's different types of Maranta cristata, all right? I think there is intense, I don't know, these will be like grower names basically for, you know, characteristics that are presenting a bit differently, and it's definitely more silvery, so I think this is intense. There is a type that I would really like, so if you've got somebody you want to sell some to me, great, message me. I think it's called Obscure, so I think it's like a darker version of this. Again, I'll probably put it on the screen, but for now, this is a really nice cutting. It's different to the other Maranta. You know, I'm going to take it out of this for now because it's just literally, it is honestly a fresh cutting. It is different to the other Maranta, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Is it going to actually focus? I really hope that is, you know. It's different because it's actually, I don't even see this here, it's very shiny, whereas the other Marantas are very velvety and matte. For example, just to really compare it for you, with the, please just focus, with the silver band, this is very shiny and the silver band is very matte. So that's kind of cool. I will see how this progresses for me. It wasn't something that I was like ridiculously, you know, excited about. I'm going to be totally honest. It was more, one for the collection. I don't see many people growing them. I'd love to see what it looks like when the pattern is super mature, which this is nearly there, I think. And it's just all over the plant. So you can buy these in shops in the UK, but I think at the minute, a lot of them are sold out. So they are being mass produced. I'm not saying they aren't, but you might struggle to get them maybe a little bit. So we'll pop that in there and we're going to move on from Maranta to a really interesting sort of category that I made. So whereas we've just gone through patterns and sort of movement, I guess, a little bit of personality in that sense, not for everyone, I appreciate, we're now going to move on to structural things. And some of these I've owned before and I'm getting them back. There are definitely one or two things that I have never owned before and I'm very excited. I don't know what order to do them in. I'm going to go straight in with something you're just going to be like, whoa, what? So wait for it, get ready for it, get ready for it. This is amazing. I'm so scared. What if I drop it? Imagine if I dropped it. It's a little bit scuffed because, I mean, it had a rough journey coming back to me, but I assure you he is healthy and he is fine. But look at this guy. Listen, I know, did you ever expect, although some of you should have expected, because I've always said when I get my house, I would love a staghorn fern. Been very, very vocal about it over the years. I always wanted to have a really beautiful, light, airy house and hang it on the wall. Full disclosure, I do have space, wall space for this. You just can't see it. I've got some space above my island. But anyway, more about the plant. So he is a little bit scuffed just off where he had to basically make it back to the UK with me. So this beautiful, beautiful sir here is Platycerium, which is the name for like staghorn fern. So for example, is it Zamiculus zamifolia is the name for ZZ plant, the proper name. So this is Platycerium veitchii, in the way that you'd have Anthurium veitchii. And he is just great. And I remember when I bought it, the vendor that I was speaking to surprised me actually, because I think he said, hey, not enough people know this, but these guys can live in quite cool temperatures. So if you have quite a cold house, I suggest you do your research on these. I am going to do more of a video on Platycerium at some point to tell you more information about them. Obviously there'll be a red plant index, obviously. So you will hear more about it, but if you want to do any research in the meantime, I promise you, don't assume that you don't have the conditions for these plants, because there's a lot of them that are actually very, very hardy. Just telling you, and I'm putting them on the map. I'm putting them on the map. Not enough people talk about them. I know there are a few serious collectors that enjoy these, but I feel like outside of that, not a lot of people really delve into it, and that's something that quite excites me. I don't know the name of it, but the common staghorn fern that you tend to always see mass-produced, some people have those, but as for the different ones, not so much. This guy is really, really cool. This is like, it's giving antlers. I absolutely love him. So the stag is actually probably my favorite animal, along with obviously like cats and horses, obviously. The stag is a beautiful animal. It's so majestic. I've always loved stags. And just this one in particular is giving, and I think he's beautiful. He's on a beautiful piece of wood as well. The way I water him at the moment is he actually gets dunked in my sink, very clean sink. He gets dunked because his crown here where all the moss is needs to get wet, and then he gets sat up actually in my cabinet at the back, but he will need a better home. I'm just waiting until I sort my situation for mounting him. If I can just show you him up close, he has the most beautiful board that he is mounted on here, and he's sort of tied on. And that is him. He's beautiful, beautiful boy. And yes, he is male. He's veitchii. He has to be, really. Not trying to discriminate, but yeah. And the colour is that beautiful, beautiful silver colour, which, come on, you know I love a silvery plant. I love. So that is him. Very, very stunning. We love. I'm going to put him down so gently because I'm terrified of dropping him. Can you even imagine? Platycerium veitchii. Oh my God. Wow. It's stunning. It's stunning. I'm going to put him down so carefully. But can you see what I mean about like structural, beautiful, all the things? Let's pop him down. Ugh. I have another platy for you. So full disclosure, so that we don't get it twisted, I own 3 Platycerium, okay? You're going to see 2 of them today because this is a video about plants that I've purchased. There will be another video, probably next month, about plants that I have been given. I wanted to separate them out this way, otherwise it'd be a video of like way too many plants, okay? I've had some plants given to me recently. I've had loads actually. It's honestly, you guys are so generous. So this is something I paid for, again, in my Botanica. I know I kept it really quiet. I know I did. So if you don't know what my Botanica is, it was how would you say it, guys? Like a big plant market in Germany. They have it in different places as well. They have it in Netherlands and stuff, but I went to the one in Germany where I met some of you, which was very cool. But this is one of the things I bought. And this one, it's so small, but it's actually grown a lot since I've had it. This is Platycerium Jenny, and I'm actually going to get out of my chair and show you up close because I think it might be required. I definitely want to make sure this focuses. Oh, look how creamy that lens is. I'm using my old YouTube lens. Sorry, I have a light, so it's really bright. I'm using my old YouTube lens that I always used to use. And I can do that now because it's low light outside and it's gorgeous. So this guy is so pretty. I love him so much. And he will be nice and silvery. I say he, I mean, it's Platycerium Jenny. Again, not discriminating, not gendering, but you'd expect it maybe to be female. I'm going to put a picture, obviously, beside me of what this looks like. I'll have done the same thing with the veitchii where appropriate, just so you can see. But it's got the most beautiful texture. It's like a really soft, velvety suede. It's beautiful. It reminds me of something. I've said that about a plant before, and I can't think of what it is. Is it a type of anthurium I've said that about? I've said that about something. If you know what I've said that about in the years on this channel, leave a comment below and tell me. But yeah, that is another one that is just super gorgeous, and I love him very much. He's nothing yet, but he will be beautiful. So he gets dunked as well. He's in moss. All the things happen with him, and we love him. I'm still calling it a him, I think, even though it's a Jenny. I think I call nearly all of my plants he. I know people have this thing where it's like, oh, are your plants like he or she? I think nearly all of mine are a he. You know, it could be called Angela, and I'd probably still call it a he. So, beautiful platies. Why not? This was quite expensive, by the way, but then again, it's Platycerium. The market for these is... It obviously operates differently to aroids and other mass-produced things. I think this was €70, which I think is actually an all right price for this. But it's still expensive for a tiny plant. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, I will update you on this. But it's so pretty. I shouldn't really rub it because it's very sensitive. But I do love it. Right. So moving on from that with more structural things, shall we? I should have had 2 of this next plant to show you, but it died and I'm really upset about it, okay? So I'm not going to mention the other one, but if you've watched a few of my recent videos, you might be able to guess what it might have been. So the thing that I managed to get, and you can't get these in the UK, trust me, I tried, is this guy, the ultimate structural, easy, chilled out plant. Zammiculus, Zammifolia, variegata in this case. That's a lot of water in there. 2 seconds, guys. No, it's not actually. It's just heavy. It's obviously the tubers in the bottom are making this really heavy. So he's obviously had a bit of a disaster there from being well, essentially repotted and everything. And I can see the tiniest bit of rot there, but I've fed him with something today that should help that, my new product. So he will be okay. I think he'll be fine. All of this feels great to me so far. I really hope he doesn't die like the other one. Honestly, the thing about ZZ is they are easy, right? But if they're so susceptible to rot, I think they operate so well on less water. The second you baby them, if they're say more expensive, they're not going to like you for it. And I think that's where I've gone wrong with the other one. So, hey, I've done this again for 6 years, guys. Everyone can get it wrong. There's me getting it wrong. There was me spending £100 on a plant and killing it within a week. So that's fun. But anyway, I just wanted one of these, and again, this was actually on my wish list, so I'm pleased to have it. The variegation is not great, I will say that. I would like to learn how to propagate ZZ. Obviously, I will use a green stem. This is obviously not great. This is fully variegated. There is a variegation that you will probably not be able to see very well on the middle, I was going to say frond, on like the middle vine stem, whatever. But it's okay. It's okay. It's still something that I couldn't have here, so I'm glad to have it. I will be experimenting propagating it. If you've ever propagated ZZ, please, can you give me some tips? Is it the same as Hoya? Do you keep it drier? Cut it, there? I don't know. And a lot of people do it just via one leaf. That seems terrifying to me. Don't really want to do that. Let me know in the comments if you've got any great tips on this, because this, believe it or not, I know it's an easy seeming plant. This is way out of my comfort zone. It is so far out of my comfort zone, you can't even begin, okay? So if you've got any tips on that, let me know. He is in pon. He's grown exactly the same way as I would anthurium, which is either going to be a blessing or a curse. But I can just tip that out because it seems like this is all one pot, but there's slits across here and then there's slits near the bottom. So it carries a very small amount of water near the bottom there, and I just put it into an outer cup just to keep him nice. So that is him. He's very beautiful, but we will pop him down and let him be, and hopefully he will not die on us. I suspect he won't, but it's literally happened before. So I remember I got some of these into the shop, by the way, many years ago, if you remember. And I remember saying, hey, they're great when they're established, but when you ship them, they are just terrible. They drop all their leaves. Case in point, this did. So yeah, they're both tough and not tough, depending on what you are doing with them. So bear that in mind. Bear that in mind. I was humbled. I learned. Lessons were learned. I cried a bit. Here we are, you know. Oh, should I show you the plant that I've wanted for, my goodness, maybe close to 5 years? Should I show you it? I'm going to show you it. I'm going to tell you the story. I'll show you it first, then I'll tell you the story, so you're not just waiting without a plant. Okay, it's small, but it will grow amazing because I'm very confident. I have the green version of this in the house. I have 2 of them. Very confident. Waited so long. So excited. You can get these. It's not impossible. It's just, again, in the UK, it's very difficult. You have to know someone that's got it. If you miss out, probably waiting a while because not many people have it and they have to cut from there. But this is the most amazing cast iron plant that is variegated. And I actually, when I made my little tag, I made sure to write the actual name of the plant because I need to start using it and I don't do it. I'm very lazy and I keep calling it a cast iron plant. It is an Aspidistra elatior variegated. It's variegated cast iron, but the point is it's Aspidistra. Aspidistra? Yeah, that's what I need to learn. Is what I need to learn. Honestly, stunning. Yeah, it's small. It's quite aroidy anyway. Is it an aroid? It could be. Oh, sorry, that is too much liquid. Hang on. That is insane. What have I done there? Hang on. It's small, you know, it's simple, but look at the variegation on this. Now, let me tell you the story of this. So, essentially, I've looked for this for years. I tried to buy it maybe 2 years ago from Etsy, from a seller in America, and it just never arrived. And I honestly, I paid quite a bit of money for it. I didn't actually pursue it at all when it didn't arrive. If anything, I actually forgot. A lot was going on. I just forgot. Okay, I did it through business. I forgot about it. So it went by the wayside. And if you're the person that did actually sell it to me, you might not have known it was me, but it was me. So I just forgot. And I've always looked, every so often when I do wish lists, when I'm doing any video where I'm looking at plants on aroids, I always check online. I can never find it. And I was in my botanica and I was walking around the tables. It was a big day because I was either speaking to people or I had to go and do something else or come back. So I ended up doing several laps of the big market, right? But I couldn't look at a lot of the tables in any kind of quality because every time I looked, I'd maybe speak to someone or whatever, and I just had to keep moving. So at some point, I passed a table I'd passed a few times, and I was looking for something else. And my eyes just scanned past it. It was a big table, had loads of different, it was so miscellaneous, right? And I saw this and I remember out loud, I was by myself, I think Ben was with me, but he was on like the other side of the big hall that it was in. I literally said out loud, I was like, you are joking. And I picked it up and I was like, no, I don't think it had a tag or anything, but I knew what it was. And I was like, it's a variegated cast iron plant. It's small, fair enough, but the variegation is supreme. It is supreme. Because I'm pretty sure this bigger one, by the way, is the new leaf. Obviously, it's not being propagated the other way around. And I got it for €20. Basically, the pot that it was in had €20 written on. And I picked it up, I said, hi, is this the price? Just checking. And I think the seller went, it's actually not the price, don't know why that's written on there. But she said, you can have it for €20. And I think she was showing me other plants. She was like, oh, there's this one or this one. I noticed other variegated ones of these on the table, but honestly this one had the best variegation, so I was like, no, I would like this one, please. Like, you could have charged me more and I would have paid like €30 if, you know, for it being more variegated. But all in all, listen, I am buzzing about this. This is amazing. So I absolutely cannot wait to go back next year to my botanica and scout again. Like, it's going to be so fun, honestly. I totally get why markets like that are a thing. Like, I wish we had that in the UK. I'd love to make one. So if anyone fancies making one, let me know. Message or something. But yeah, I'm going to put him down. We've talked about him enough, but he is just unbelievable. He's unbelievable, and I can't wait to grow him. He might have to be grown in a cabinet quickly before we move on, because my cat, Teddy, loves nibbling on cast iron plants. As I mentioned, I have 2. They're non-toxic, by the way, which is fantastic. As well as Maranta, I should have mentioned that. All of these kinds of plants are non-toxic, so it's great. But he loves nibbling on them, and I would really prefer it if he didn't nibble on this. So this might be a cabinet plant. I know it's a bit weird, but it might. Anyway, let's move on. The next set of plants, I'm going to be honest, it might become a problem for me. I've had a problem with this before, and I really think probably after the next rare plant index is going to become more of a problem again. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. A lot of people probably be happy for it though. I don't think it's anything that's going to annoy people. I bought this. This here is Hoya. I know. It's Hoya Polyneura Full Silver. I was looking for one of these. I ended up with a Brogue quite recently, which, you know, is fine. Sorry, I'm looking at this because, again, it's got way too much water in it. I've obviously been very slapdash with it. This poor Maranta's having a massive drink. I found the Brogue online, and I think I showed you it in like a couple of videos ago in Plants I Can't Kill, right? It's beautiful, it's really dark, it's amazing. And I wanted a full silver, and I couldn't find any in the UK. Obviously, somebody will have one, but the channels I was looking at to try and find one, I couldn't find one. So it just happened when I was at My Botanica, I found it. So here it is. I'll just come up to the screen. I don't know how popular these are. Now, personally, sorry, we're close to the light here. Personally, I am a polyneura lover, and it's because they're more water loving. I find them really nice. I love the whole fishtail thing. I used to have fish. I love it, right? And obviously, a lot of these other plants are a bit more water loving as well. So I really, really like it, and it's just so cute. Can we see the colour? It's possible that the softbox is not doing it full justice. I've also changed some camera settings today, so the colours in the video might look a little bit different to what they normally do. That's not you going crazy. I've adjusted some camera settings. Oh my goodness. But it is very, very beautiful. Now, it is only 2 leaves. I don't think this was super expensive. I want to say it was maybe 20 or 25 euro. It wasn't bad. It could have even been less. It could have even been 15 euros, which tells me in Europe, it's not a big deal for you guys, and that's fine, that's great. Love that for you. Jealous. For me, over here, a bit more of a big deal. So really, really happy to have this. Can't wait to grow it. I used to have one of these at the shop. I bought that massive Hoya haul I did in was it like 2020? Massive Hoya haul. I had a full silver, and it was one of the fastest ones to die, and I was really sad about it. So I'm pleased to have it back. Never thought I'd get it back, but we have it, and I'm really happy about it. Now, similarly, when I was looking for the polyneura, I've been looking for a few different polyneura types. Most of you, there are buttons going off in your brain right now going, I bet she's looking for that. The answer is yes, I am looking for it. Just shelve that. You'll understand what I mean in the Rare Plant Index when it comes. I'm working on it, trust me. But anyway, I saw this, but I also saw something else that 1, I can't find in the UK. 2, is just a little bit more unusual for me. It's not my typical choice, and I could have gone for a different one. I will explain what I mean. I'm going to show you both plants, but I'm gonna then just keep a hold of one, and I'm probably gonna take it out of the water because I did this for insurance in case I couldn't propagate well, okay? So what we have here, so you can probably only see one side of it. It's holly, it's not holly. It's Hoya Polyneura inner variegated. There's probably a better word for it, inverse variegation or whatever. I'm going to just show you that very quickly because it's the stump and it's not very useful to see, but just so you know, this was a stump and the rest of the plant is in this. So if I gently remove the Hoya from that so we can see it, it is essentially, does what it says on the tin, guys. It's a Hoya Polyneura where the inside is variegated. Very easy to tell, inverse variegated, that's what it is. Now, I'll just put my hand over my face while I'm talking to you. I could have gone for the Hoya, the Albo marginata, so it's like a green Polyneura with white, like a really thin white line around the edge. But I didn't want to do that because I'm pretty sure I can find that over here. And I just wanted to go with stuff that, like, you know, hey, if I don't get it now, I will regret it because I can't get it. So I went for this one. And again, it's just my love of Polyneura. Now, does that mean I'm not going to collect any other types of Hoya? Nope, not at all. There are other types that I really vibe with. For example, the compacta varieties, love those. I love a lot of carnosa varieties as well. Maybe some people might consider them a little bit boring. I think they're amazing. So I'm just saying, like, someone needs to rein me in, you know what I mean? But I think this is gorgeous. Like, that is so, so pretty. And I think that in a full plant, I will put in a picture of what this looks like as a full plant, by the way, because I saw an image and I can't remember where it was or who it was. So sorry, I can't credit you now. But as always, if you didn't know, I do put image credits in my descriptions. So it will be in there. I'm sorry, I don't know who you are, but I saw a picture of someone with a full one of these and I about died. It was stunning. So thanks to you, I bought some. and I'm going to grow it. As with everything, this is not pure water. It's got a slight tinge to it. I popped it in like that up to the node. This is my NurtureSystem, again, number 3, rapid recovery. So it basically roots things, it rehabs imports after shipping, stuff like that. It's just like a massive growth boost, but the growth boost is targeted at the root. That is what this is for. I've had really good results with number 3. The only thing I've failed to root a little bit I find tricky is maybe begonia, but I also think I'm trying to root begonia in water like this, and it's probably not the method for begonia, so I accept that. But let's see how this method does with Hoya. I'll be honest, I'm doing this because I was too afraid to just put the whole thing in substrate. That scares me, putting something in substrate without roots. Like, we wouldn't do it for aroids, so I'm not doing it for that. So that is why this looks like this. Obviously, in the case of this one in the plastic cup, you can see there that it's gonna show, yeah, it's planted in there, and that's just down to the node, and I'm really hoping that that grows nicely, because 2 plants is better than 1, especially when you can only buy them out there. Now, if you've got one in the UK, amazing. I'm not saying they don't exist in the UK, I'm just saying I couldn't find them. They are hard to get. This is going to be something if you want this. If you want something like this in the UK, I don't think it's an eBay thing, although you could check after this video, I guess, that sometimes happens. I think this is more of like a Facebook collector thing. But you can probably find it if you're looking for it. I actually want to ask you guys, is there a plant or type of plants that you wouldn't typically go for, but you probably would give it a go? So it's not your usual style, but you think, oh, I'd actually love to have one of those, I'd love to try it. Please leave your answers below. I've probably put a pinned comment so you can just say, because I actually want to see what people are saying, because it helps me figure out what content to make for you guys as well. So if you could answer that, that'd be fantastic. And will you actually take the plunge? Maybe not now. A lot of us are going into winter, maybe in spring. Will you take the plunge? What is your favorite plant I've shown today? I don't know. I've got a lot. I still like this guy. I know that's really boring, but he's so photogenic for a camera. Does that make sense? Like, there's loads of beautiful plants here, but he just makes sense on camera. You know what I mean? So tell me your favorites, and I will see you in the next one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.